By presenting you this for Noble Truth, for Buddhist logos, and all this will give you an idea of how we will deal with our life. Number one, we have to understanding, acknowledging whatever, good or bad, whatever is happening, we can never deny. We are in the habit of denying, particularly negative things. Particularly negative things we are denying, and the denying will be really, really bad, because the denial will shatter our problem. Denial will deny the solution to solve the problem, because we're not going to entertain the solution because we deny our problem. I have no problem. What are you talking about? And I have no problem, me personally have no problem with any tradition, including New Age. But when the New Age people will tell you, there is no problem, there is no suffering, what is this called suffering? So then I have a little hesitation. I don't know whether I have a problem or not, but it is hesitation because you yourself is suffering. You yourself is suffering, but then you still say, I don't know what the suffering is all about it. And that is a little something. But the New Age chose to say that. And in a way, if you keep on thinking positive and keep on denying all negatives, may help to a certain extent. But that's not going to be forever. It is real. Suffering is real. Freedom is real. Both are real. It is available for all of us to be experienced. You want it or don't want it to. Freedom, you have to put efforts to gain. Suffering, whether you want it or you deny or whatever you do, that won't work. So anyway, that tells us to understand, to think about it, and then to work. And the question comes, how do we work? How do we work? So we have to, when you're working, you work with the mind. You work with the, most importantly, analytical, rather than just simply sitting. Analytical. Sometimes in the Buddhist tradition, or even Hindu traditions, they call it meditation, analytical meditation, and concentrated meditation. Both analytical and concentrated are mental activity. Whether you call it meditation or not, it is a thinking and a concentration. Thinking is a more analyzing, using your intellectual, intelligent mind, using your logical power, intelligence mind, using it, reasoning it, checking within this is what we call it analytical meditation. And then analytical meditation will find a point, whatever you are looking. And that point on that, you're focusing, concentration, it becomes part, and it becomes a part of you, and a parcel of you, and it becomes a character of you. So then it is really personality of the individual. And this is how we are changing our personality from suffering, angry, mean person to kind, compassionate, loving, wonderful person is changed through these activities. So these activities to be used by us, we talk about 4 reliabilities. Today we are talking of the 4 reliabilities. That is information that you utilize. So we talk about it. It depends on the message, not on the messenger. And I talk about Buddha saying, don't trust me because I, Buddha, said so. You buy because you are convinced. So these are very important point that Buddha shared. So try to tell us what is reliable, what is not reliable. Reliable is truth, is reliable, and not the charismatic presenter who's talking something about it. And if you rely on that, then we get down, sometimes go down quite badly. And we are not forgetting what had happened with Jim Jones and Heaven's Gate and even David Crash. All of those had happened because we don't rely on the message, we rely on the messenger. So that's why the Buddha says, don't buy because I, Buddha, said so. You buy because you are convinced. That is first reliability we talk. Second reliability, don't rely on the words, but rely on meaning. There will be very flourish, poetic words may not necessarily mean it is. It is commonly known poets have its way of, literatures have its way of presenting. I don't want to say exaggerating, but that's sometimes the poetry does. And so that's why Buddha says, don't rely on the words. Flourish, very flowery words gives you, you say something, smooth flower, but then you think about it, there is nothing in that. So if you follow that flower word, and then you don't have anything to show solidly. And so what happens is, we always tell you, do not fly in the air, please ground it. So that you are not grounding because you are flying in the air with the beautiful words and no meaning and all that, and that will be so reliability. Do not. Third one is what I presented to you already, so I'm making a brief statement here. Third one was, do not rely words of interpretable, but direct. So this is very hard for us to know. Like that's why Buddha never encouraged to worship or to follow the word of Buddha. Word of Buddha. But Buddha disciples, today's Buddha's disciples, many of them, and particularly Southeast Asia, and all these people, many of them will say, see what Buddha says. says they refer to three Pitakas and other, maybe many of them do not accept Mahayana Sutra or Vajrayana Tantra as Buddha's word, but one of those reliabilities is do not rely on interpretable word. And that is hard. Which is interpretable, which is not interpretable. And that is sort of way beyond us. But that's why the Tibetan Buddhist tradition has so many commentaries. Even Buddha's own words are commented by the early Indian Pandit Mahasiddhas in the Shastra. And Shastras. Those Shastras are so important. They debate it. They have arguments, and they draw conclusions, and they make it easier for the future generations better and better and better. And that's why even in the Tibetan tradition, there are so many great masters, earlier Tibetan masters, and earlier Kadamba Lamas and their period, their interpretation, and later the new Kadamba Lama, Lagin Jangwa Lama, Tsongkhapa, and etc. They have again more explanation and interpretation, and all this sort of revolutionize the earlier understanding and thoughts into a new, very logically proving and very close to bringing you so close to the reality. And so that is why when you say rely on the non-interpretable, so which is non-interpretable, which is interpretable, are very difficult to know, but that is part of it. So I have to present you my today's point, that is fourth reliability, and that says do not rely on mental understanding, do rely on perfect wisdom. Okay, now, big deal now. Mental understanding, what it is. Our mind, when you focus, think, concentrate, gets a lot of ideas, particularly if you are sitting, not analyzing. If you keep on analyzing, you not only keep your focus on the subject, you get various ideas, and you analyze these ideas and reject what is not known to you, what is not right. So you can keep on rejecting, you can get some ideas. Right or wrong, never draw quick conclusion. Keep on, sleep on it, days, weeks, months, and talk to other friends, and think that, gain better understanding. If you are simply sitting, then you get all kinds of things. After a little while, for a while is a blank, and then something some movement comes. If you wanted to meditate, somebody sitting, that fellow will get up and walk. And if you want somebody sitting there with the mouth shut up, and he want to shut up, he will be talking to you. And then you will be following. You will begin to hear your voice. You will begin to do all this, all that. These are not reliable. Do not rely on that. That's what the Buddha is saying. Even your understanding, your mental, analytical, intellectual analyzation gives you little understanding. Just because you just gain little understanding, Do not rely on that. Re-exam, 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 and talk with some other person and read more reliable information and what you are getting, and this reliable information are telling or not telling. If not telling, probably my conclusion's not right. So go on doing this, and finally it becomes wisdom, and then it is reliable. So this is the 4 reliabilities that I would like to talk to. These are the way how we look, how we meditate. This is how we analyze. And these are very, very important. This is whether you are Judeo-Christian fellow or Hindu, Muslim, or whatever you are. If you are really keen, interested to helping yourself, even you are atheist or agnostic, whatever it may be, these are useful and helpful. There may be some help. So I wanted to present this, so if you see something in that to help yourself, and I would like you to pick up